Before the I takes shape, an infant lives in a world beyond ego, a seamless field where sensations, bodies and rhythms mingle without hard borders. Hunger is not a thought but a tide. Warmth is not an adjective but a settling in the chest. The caregiver is not another person so much as a living environment that breathes, smells and answers back. In this early landscape, the nervous system learns safety first and stories later. Regulation is borrowed, heartbeat to heartbeat, breath to breath, through rocking, skin-to-skin contact, and the reliable choreography of need and response. Thousands of tiny serve and return exchanges lay the first tracks. A cry meets a face, a gaze meets a smile, a babble meets words. Over time, these contingencies teach that signals matter and the world is coherent. Attunement is the grammar here. The adult notices subtle cues, the turn of the head when overstimulated, the softening eyelids of fatigue, the stiffening limbs of discomfort, and adjusts intensity and timing until the infant's body says yes. Missteps happen, but repair is the teacher. A missed cue followed by reconnection communicates that bonds can stretch without breaking. This is how trust enters the body, not as an idea, but as a pattern. When distress reliably moves toward comfort, curiosity can safely bloom. When it does not, vigilance becomes the organizer. Play begins as brief experiments in cause and effect, a rattle's clatter, a returning face in peekaboo, seeding confidence that what disappears can return, and that actions make ripples in the world. Long before me and you are named, the infant discovers a dependable rhythm: signal, response, relief, rest. From that rhythm, the earliest self condenses like mist becoming water, still fluid, still relational, yet now capable of reaching, refusing, and delighting. An I emerging from we. As the days stack, that rhythm of signal, response, relief becomes the infant's first curriculum, wiring regulation into the body before memory can narrate it. Each serve and return is a micro-lesson. A cry summons proximity. Proximity slows the heart. Slowing heart invites softer breathing opens the gaze. The caregiver's nervous system lends its stability like a scaffold, pacing stimulation when arousal spikes, dimming lights when eyes avert, pausing when the lip quivers from too much. This contingent fit calibrates thresholds. How much novelty is invigorating, how much becomes noise. In those calibrations, the social brain wakes, joint attention flickers when two sets of eyes track the same rattle. Imitation blooms as tiny tongues mirror. Proto-turn-taking appears in alternating coups. Misattunements are inevitable, but when they're followed by repair, I missed you, I'm here now. The body learns that disconnection is a state, not a fate. Over time, these cycles strengthen the infant's capacity to downshift from activation without shutting down entirely, to upshift into interest without tipping into alarm. Trust, then, is not abstract optimism. It is vagal memory, a lived expectation that waves can crest and fall while the shore remains. From that safe shoreline, curiosity begins to venture farther, testing the world one brave reach at a time. Play becomes the laboratory where this trust turns into knowing. The rattle that clacks on command. The blanket that hides a face and then reveals it. The rolling ball that obeys a push and returns with a caregiver's gentle toss. Peekaboo is not a trivial game, but a seminar in object permanence and the tolerability of absence. What vanishes can reappear. What stirs alarm can resolve into delight. In these repetitions, agency dawns. Hands learn they can summon sound. Feet discover they can pivot the whole horizon. A squeal can pull a smile out of another human like a rope on a bell. Transitional objects, soft cloths, favorite toys, become portable islands of predictability, carrying the scent and feel of safety into wider waters. Mirror-like responses from caregivers, matching tone, shape of mouth, tempo, teach that inner states can be seen outside the skin, which seeds the earliest empathy. What happens in me can be known by you. With each small experiment, the infant refines a private physics and a social grammar at once, learning that the world resists and yields, that others answer and wait. and that self can act without severing connection. So the circle closes where it began, a body listening to another body, a breath sinking to another breath, a small signal welcomed by a larger grace. This is infant psychology, a world beyond ego, not because the self is absent, but because the self is born within relation, and therefore never needs to prove its existence by erasing others. Hunger taught us that need is not shameful. Comfort taught us that help does not enslave. Play taught us that risk can be rehearsed, and joy can be shared. Language taught us that minds can be known and repaired. Boundaries taught us that love has edges, and that edges protect love. When these lessons accumulate, the future changes shape, not into a guarantee of ease, but into a landscape where courage is affordable, because safety is rememberable. The invitation to caregivers, educators, neighbors, and to our own inner guardians is simple and demanding. Become dependable rhythms for one another. Answer signals with fits that respect the organism in front of you. Practice repair so thoroughly that failure becomes an entrance to deeper trust. Protect the pockets where play can unfold without surveillance, and keep telling true stories that dignify struggle without baptizing harm. If your beginnings were chaotic, know that human systems remain gloriously revisable. New contingencies can be laid down, new rituals can be born. New we's can cradle a newer I. The child you once were is still listening for a steadier metronome, and you can become it. Light a small lamp at bedtime. Breathe slower than your fear. Say, "I'm here," out loud, and mean it. Let the old loop guide you. Signal, response, relief, rest. And then step once more into the miraculous ordinary, reaching toward the world with a self both softened and strong, remembering in your very bones that you were shaped for connection and equipped for exploration. This is how an ego grows up right, rooted, resonant, and free, and how a life becomes, again and again, a shared work of art.